created a cookie stand in Hypixel Skyblock, but to understand the rich history of this island, we gotta go back before thousands of customers were served and nearly 2 versions of the cookie stand were built. A while back, a small cookie stand was built by the name of, well, Cooki Stand. This cookie stand was the first one to ever be built. It had a small cafe, a regular line, a donation center, donation walls, and a second restaurant, Food to Go. This original cookie stand was served by just 2 people, AACK and me. This cookie stand would end up operating for the next 6 months, as hundreds of customers were served in just this tiny line. Wait, what? A problem showed up, then another, then another. First of all, the line was too small for any future expansion, which could only ever hold 7 people at maximum. And then there were the signs, of which a ton of signs were being placed and were filling up the remaining donation hall space as well as the front of the entire cafe. There were also several inefficiencies, such as the regular cookie line being directly on top of the donation line, which was incredibly inefficient for people who decided to donate, as well as a second restaurant, which literally sat right behind the original cookie stand and therefore caused some inefficiencies for people wanting to get cookies who decided to instead go to the back here. And that was it for good old Cooki Stand. What seemed top of the line at the beginning of the year fell to disarray at the end of the year, which caused a ton of people to start wanting a larger store, which would be coming soon. With the help of a friend, a large beige box was created to represent the new cookie stand, as it was large enough to hold everything in the future, as well as several other buildings, some of which never got to be used since they were too big. What ended up being constructed was a large red carpet leading into an entrance with 3 lines. I ended up deciding that one of them would have been a cookie stand, one of them would have been a tip stand, and the other be a donation stand. And you should donate your time and subscribe to my channel. In this new cookie stand, 12 people can fit in each line, which means a maximum capacity of 36 guests, well above the limit for a YouTube rank plus 5 guests, which is 20 guests. This is easily enough for more guest expansion if Hypixel ever allows it. And, of course, it never fills up. To solve the increasingly worse problem of signs filling up the entire wall, new walls were built that were 5 blocks high and could allow for hundreds of signs on a single wall. There were not just 2 of these walls, but also several of them, which we'll get to later. Due to the old cookie stand having a fatal flaw with its social area, a brand new one was installed where there were tons of seating and a socials board, which has subsequently been wiped of its signs due to a limit that we'll talk about later. In the following months, many achievements and things were done to refine the cookie stand and make it more of a famous place in Hypixel Skyblock, such as being high up on the first page of Hypixel Skyblock's social list. Count how many YouTubers we were passing on that list. Having many people donate absurd amounts of money to our cookie stand. I checked all of the donation numbers and it seems to be well over 100 million Hypixel Skyblock coins. Due to the incredible success of the new cookie stand, I decided that I would live stream the cookie stand to everybody here on YouTube. The first trial run of the cookie stand happened in September 9, 2022 in a live stream titled Friday Livestream Fix, when I had only 157 subscribers. In an unexpected twist, that live stream got a lot of views compared to all of the previous ones, which started an entire string of literal cookie stand live streams. This isn't to say that the cookie stand isn't without problems. I got muted 3 times since the cookie stand straddles the line of what is possible and what is breaking Hypixel's terms of service. The 3 times were in September, 1 in November, and right now as I am recording this. Fortunately, the cookie stand has still stayed alive even after all of the mutes. and has actually begun to break some of Skyblock's limits. On December 3rd, 2022, on the same day of the What livestream, the Cooki Stand finally banned all rideable pets after months of consideration, including the horse, armadillo, and rock pets. Yet in classic Skyblock fashion, people actually continued to do it, and reports of people phasing in and out with rideable pets increased by 50% up to January. On December 6, 2022, a limit that most people didn't even know existed was reached, a sign limit of 500 on an island. Since that point, I have not been able to put any more signs on the island, which means most donation walls are useless, including the upper floor, which is actually an entire 5 rows of donation walls, which now cannot be used. But people still wanted to have their donations on signs, and that's when I came up with a compromise where people could stack themselves on a singular sign, increasing the amount of possible people from 1 to 6 in a singular sign, allowing for the only compromise to be a person's space on a sign. In January, a bunch of new improvements were made, such as a bunch of signs about the history of the Cooki Stand, a social display for people to show off how much time they spent on the Cooki Stand, and 3 NPCs, the Cooki Stand ad, the island updates, and the donations guide, which lists the top 10 donations on the Cooki Stand. But as for right now, this is the point of time where the Cooki Stand stands as right now. The future of the Cooki Stand is probably going to be as wild as its previous days, as a regular cookie. For the cookie lines, there's a reason why Cookies 2 is closed. It's because in the future, if I ever get to YouTube rank, there will be enough space for 2 lines to form instead of just 1, so that there can be 20 guests in a singular line. And whilst that is only a possibility that will happen within the next few years or possibly even decades, there is one thing that might happen in the near future, and that's a renovation of the 2nd floor into a food to go or a dining area. The final hope, getting every single YouTuber and every single person on the Cooki Stand so that it lasts longer than probably I will be online. And that's it. Nothing else. I'd like to thank everybody who has visited the Cooki Stand, past, present, and probably future. And I'd also like to thank the members SQRYY, Exotic, C64, and Ynovu for being employees in the Cooki Stand. I thank you all for your work, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.